Hi everyone, I'm Gio. I hope everyone's having the best blessed day possible. Today is December 15th, and today I have 987 days clean. So that means on December 28th of 2025, I will have 1,000 days clean. Something that I never dreamed would ever be possible for me. And I never really dreamed I would want it to be possible. I really didn't. I didn't think I would ever want a life where I wasn't using something to make myself feel different. I never thought I would want a life where I wasn't using something to make myself have more fun or make myself enjoy something more. I never thought I would want that. But the thing is that now that I have all that time clean, now I have all that time, I love my life. I can say that with certainty. I love my life. I love the person that I am today. I love the person that my wife is today. I love the life that we have together, and I love the future, what the future holds for us. I love that. I love trying to make accomplishments, and I love trying to just be the best person that I can be. I really, really do. And so as you can see, the house is decorated. Christmas is coming up. We're going to have family coming over. We've been doing things. This weekend, we went and seen Christmas lights. We took my stepdaughter and my niece. We took them, well, my step niece, we took them to like the most museum, science and technology, as well as the mall. And then we went and we drove through Christmas lights. So it was a great day, a nice family, fun filled day. Something that I wasn't able to do for decades. It's been decades since I've done that. So it feels great to be that person again, and like if you see my Christmas tree that I have here, like our house is beautiful. Like it looks so nice. It's so cozy. It feels so great to be here. And I'm very, very proud of it. And this Christmas tree now, I've had this tree for, this will be the third year in a row that I've had this Christmas tree. And I went for years of my life where I didn't have a Christmas tree at all. And if I did have a tree, I would only have it for 1 year, and then it would get thrown out. I'd leave it behind. I'd go to jail. Something would happen. But these are the differences in life now, is now I'm going to carry something over from year to year. Like the only way I won't have this tree now is because I get rid of it. I choose to get rid of it. I'm not going to lose it. And that's the difference in my life now, And then other differences in life is that, like, I just went through a whole year where I paid every single bill I had. I paid it like the day that the bill came in. Pretty much the day that the bill came in, I paid it. I didn't pay anything late. I didn't not pay a bill. I definitely didn't pay anything late. And I didn't even pay anything like the day it was due. Everything was paid in advance. And I went through years of my life without paying a bill, period. Like decades of my life. I went where I didn't even pay any bills, where I just let everything run up. I lost everything I had, and I didn't pay anything because any money I had to go towards my habit. Any money I had to go towards just making myself feel okay, because my habit took over my life. My addiction took over my life, and that was the only thing that would bring my life any joy whatsoever, was to be high, because my life had gotten so bad. I'd lost so much that I didn't want to think about any of that. So the only way I'm not going to think about that is to be high, to be using. So everything went towards that. So like I said, decades of my life without paying a bill. I went decades of my life. That's the other thing now, is I have stability now, right? I go to bed at night. I sleep every single night. I couldn't imagine going a night without sleeping. Whereas I went years of my life where the only time I'm going to sleep is if I drop. I'm not going to ever lay down with the intention of, hey, I'm going to go to sleep now. I went years of my life without doing that, where the only time I'm going to sleep is if I go so long that I can't stay awake anymore. Or if the drugs run out or something like that, then I would have to go to sleep because I couldn't stay awake. But I would never try to go to sleep. I would never lay down with the intention of going to sleep. I went now, like, I try to eat healthy. I wake up every morning, I make coffee, I, make breakfast, I make dinner, we eat. Making her daughter and her niece, we made them dinner, all weekend, just different things like that. Whereas I didn't do that. Years of my life, I went where the only food I'm going to eat is maybe a bag of candy that I'm going to steal from a store, maybe a sandwich where I'm going to steal, but I'm going to not eat. Days I'd go without eating, weeks without eating, or else I'd go to jail, and then I'm going to eat in jail and everything. And like coming up on Christmas, I went years of my life, multiple years, where I didn't even celebrate Christmas. I would not even utter the words Merry Christmas. years where I didn't do that because I had nothing to celebrate. There was nothing good in my life to celebrate, or else I went, I think 3 different years I spent in jail for Christmas. So this is what 1,000 days clean, this is the difference with being 1,000, coming up on 1,000 days clean now. I'll never have those things again. I'll never have to go through those things ever again. And that's a great feeling. It's a great feeling to know that, like, this year, I have presents. We have a lot of presents for all of our family. I know that life's not about presents. I know it's not about, like, that's not what matters. I recognize that, but it's still nice to be able to give to people. I don't want anything in return. I don't want any presents of my own, but I want to be able to give stuff. I want to be able to see the joy on people's face by giving them something, and by showing how much I care for people, by showing how much people mean to me. That's what matters, and that's what makes me happy. And it's awesome to be that person now, and to be the person that, at church, where I can be asked, like today I went and I helped this person move all day, where I know everyone knows if they ask me for something, they can count on me, and I'm going to be there. And I love that. I love that I'm signing up to bring a dish to church for a church group or a church thing, that I'm signing up to make a dish to bring there, and that everyone is excited to eat my food and to have that. Like, that's awesome. That's an amazing thing, And that's another thing too, is like I went a whole year this year without, like, being late to work ever, like without missing a day of work, without just all these different things now, where I have substance and where my life matters and where I'm doing good things. Church, I didn't miss church for an entire year. I went every single day, every single week to church. Prayer groups, just all these extra things that I do with church, the little ministries I have on the side, just I'm counted on, I'm relied on for that. And it's just awesome to be this new, different person, this person that's responsible, this person that can be counted on, and this person that's liked by everyone. Me and my wife say all the time, we go to church, we leave, we're like, everyone just loves us so much, and we love everyone so much. It's so great. I give out 100 hugs every single week when I go to church. It's awesome. It's amazing. And without all that, now we're not as strong as we are in our recovery. That's the thing, is that you have to have the support. You have to have that. So for us, it was having a church family as support, as something to be a part of. Because without that, now we're in danger. We would be in danger of falling back. We would be in danger of all those things that come along with having a life of addiction, of being addicted for your life. All those things that came along with that, we would still be in danger, but we're not, because of our church and because of our church family. So I encourage anyone out there who's suffering, who's battling, that you need, in order to make a change. I understand how hard it is to make that change. I truly, truly do, because the whole thing is that people will say, well, why don't you get better? You got to want it for yourself, or else, you just go to rehab, go get better. But you got, by going to rehab, by doing these things, what you're doing is you're accepting the fact that, okay, I'm going to lose the only thing that makes me feel okay. I'm going to lose that, and I'm going to give that up. Because by being high, I feel okay. I don't care about my life. I don't care how bad my life is. I don't care about all the things I've lost. I don't care about all the people I've hurt, all the bad things I've done. I don't care about that when I'm high. But when I'm not high, now I have to think about that. Now I have to deal with that. So it's hard just to say, okay, I'm going to not have that feeling anymore. I'm going to give up that opportunity to not feel all this other stuff. That I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to have to feel that. I'm going to have to accept these things and deal with them. It's a really, really hard thing to do. But once you get past all that, once you get past all the sickness, all those things, it takes time. Because your brain, when you've used, depending on how long you use for and what you use, it messes up your brain. It really, really does. Like, your brain is not the same. It's not the same as it was. So it takes time for it to repair itself. But it does repair itself. It really, really does. And you do become a person that can be counted on. You do become a person that's responsible. You do become a person that can be proud of the life that you live. And I'm the example to show that exactly. You can become a person that can put up the same tree 3 years in a row. You become a person that can have presents for everybody. You become a person that doesn't curse, that tries to go the whole year without cursing. Maybe I've cursed maybe 7 times this whole entire year. Like, you become a person that's responsible and that can do all these things and that can be counted on. And that's what life is about. It's not about getting high and trying to escape. Doesn't do anything for you. And at some point in time, it's going to catch up, and you're going to have to address it, because you don't want that to be all that your life is. You don't want to, end your life by, and that's the only legacy that you have, is that you got high for your whole life. You do not want that. I promise you. I'm so glad that I don't have that, and that isn't, because so many people that aren't here anymore, that is the legacy that they left, is that they just got high and chose drugs over everything for their entire life. And that's all that their life was. And that's sad. It's really, really sad that they weren't ever able to have that chance. But you have that chance right now. You have that chance to change right now, to make that step right now. Like, for me, I made those changes. Now I can be proud. Now I know I'm living a good life. Now I know that I am a good person. Now I know that I'm going to go to heaven and be, accepted, and that it's going to be great. And I know all those things now. But you have a chance too, where you can make those changes, and you can do those things, because I promise you, whenever that change does come for you, you're going to wish that you did it sooner. That's the one thing that you're going to wish, that you did it sooner. I wish that I did it sooner. I wish that I was 10 years younger, saying these things to you. But the whole thing is that I had to go through everything that I went through the exact way I went through to get to where I'm at now. And that's the only way that I'm able to be here right now saying the things that I'm saying to you. So if you're watching this and you're an addict, you're watching this for a reason. You really, really are. You're watching this for a reason. And that reason is that, everything that you've been through, you had to go through it the exact way you did to be able to watch this right now, to be able to hear this message right now, and to be able to say, okay, I'm going to make a change right now. Like, you're hearing this for a reason. So recognize that you don't want to go through your whole life, and that's your legacy that you left behind, was that I got high, I chose drugs over everything in my life, and that I didn't have any control, no self-control, no willpower. I was never strong enough not to break that hold. I was never strong enough to choose my children first. I was never strong enough to choose my family. I was never strong enough to choose good over evil. That's a sad way to live, and you don't want that to be your legacy, I promise you. So choose to make a change. Take the steps that it takes to make that change. There's help. There's tons of different resources. There's tons of different people that want to help you. Everyone loves a comeback story. Everybody wants to see you succeed. You just have to truly, truly want it, and it's okay to ask for help, as long as you're sincere, as long as you know that you're going to follow through on all the things that you say, and just be real about it. Then it's okay to ask for those things, and people will be there to help you. I promise you that. But you got to be sincere, and you got to really, really you got to do it. You have to realize that you don't have much time left. You don't have much time left. There's not going to be a lot more opportunities to change. It's going to run out. It ran out on so many people that aren't here anymore. So, and it could run out on you. So make that change now. I plead with you, make that change now, and try to start making those steps now. So I appreciate you guys watching this. Again, coming up on 1,000 days clean. It feels absolutely amazing. And I'm excited for my future. The future is so bright. I can't wait to see what the future holds for me and my family. And please continue to watch, continue to like, comment, share, anything you guys can do to show this channel support and to help my channel grow. I appreciate you. I love you all. God bless you. Merry Christmas. And remember, as nice as it is to be important, it is infinitely more important to be nice. God bless.